All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I'm istherenoonelse, and in today's video, we're going to do a deeper dive into Mara's Ploy, which is a new gear set coming for update 35, the Lost Depths, and yeah, as you guys know, I already did a video on this like a week or two ago, and I didn't test this set to the full extent of its powers, so that's what this video is. We are going to show it at its maximum level, the full Goku, and we're going to show you guys exactly what it is, why I said it's the strongest defensive set in the game, and why, if it goes live, in my opinion, it's going to make PvP extremely enjoyable to play. So Mara's Balm is the same as it's been since week 1. When you're hit by a status effect, a damage over time effect, or any sort of negative effect at all, and it ends, it will heal you for 2k, which is halved in PvP. It's around 1k in PvP, and with no cooldown. On top of that, every 15 seconds, if you have 6 or more status effects on you, it will heal. It will purge all those negative effects and then heal you for the amount of status effects that you have on you every 15 seconds. So this set, when I talked about it before, I said it was a combination of Hiss Sap and Crimson. So like prime Hiss Sap, prime Crimson, and both those sets needed to be adjusted. And I thought that was enough to get everything fixed. And so because that's how strong this set is on paper, and I showed multiple different combat metrics parses where I was running it on the back bar and showed that it's the best healing that you can have on your back bar. It outpaces all other heals that I have, and it's really good for that reason, like really good. But the thing is if you run a back bar, you miss out on so much. Like you miss out on so much on the back bar, because your effects, if you're on your front bar, the effects ending do not heal you. So the best way to get the healing is to actually front bar it, The best way to get the healing is to actually double bar this set. And so you run it on both bars, and then you get all the effects and you get all of the heals. And so, yeah, I showed it only as a back bar set. I showed how strong it was. I showed that with no cooldown, it is going to be insanely powerful, especially outnumbered. But the problem with the PTS is you don't always get to test these numbers in an outnumbered situation, because it's tough to get a bunch of people on the PTS to do these comparisons. And that's kind of the problem in general with testing for a set like this, is you can't really show those. Luckily, I have an awesome community, and I did a post on my channel asking people to come in on the PTS and help me out. So a few of my friends showed up. Liar, he streams on Twitch. I'll provide a link in the description. He showed up. JTK Gaming also streams on Twitch and has a YouTube channel. He also showed up, and so both of them are here. And yeah, they're parsing on me. And so the build that we're running is we have 5-piece Lich on the back bar with the Maelstrom Resto, 2-piece Blood Spawn, and 5-piece Mara's Ploy. Now, no mythic, no monsters, or no mythic or anything like that. Hey, honey, Daddy's talking, so you got to give me a minute, okay? So we are running these sets, and the reason I ran Lich on the back bar is I figured with this many people attacking me, I'm going to have another person later on in the fight. And so my thought was I'm going to need a ton of magic recovery, and I also didn't want to run something else that was going to obfuscate how powerful the set was. And so I really wanted to isolate it. I didn't want to have a ton of other powerful healing. I thought it would be a good test to just show exactly how powerful this set's healing is. And so I'm just rotating hots. I'm hitting my Radiating Regeneration. I'm hitting Blood Fountain. I'm hitting the Bubble. I'm hitting my Power Orbs. I'm hitting Illustrious Healing, or Healing Springs, sorry. And I'm hitting my Purify and my Rune. And so I'm not blocking. I'm not dodging. And after the first fight that you guys saw earlier, I decided to not hit Breath of Life at all, because I didn't have to. And so I have two very good players in the game, doing full offensive combinations on me, and I don't have to block. I don't have to dodge roll. I don't have to line of sight. I can sit here and rotate my hots, and Mara's Balm plus the other hots that I have in my bar are healing me to full. And so hopefully this makes sense when you're looking at this. I stopped healing here. And so you still see that they're having a hard time killing me because Mara's Balm is still going off. Just because I stop healing doesn't mean Mara's stops healing. So we go and we look at the overall healing, and you see that Mara's Balm is twice as good as anything else in my bar in a 1v2 situation. Double barred, single barred, it was better. Double barred, it's a lot better. It's twice as good as channeled focused. It's like 3 times as good as rapid, or twice as good as rapid regeneration, 3 times as good as radiating regeneration. You can see it right there. It just outpaces everything. And the thing is with this set, it has no cooldown. The set has absolutely no cooldown. And so for every single person I fight, I'm going to get more and more healing. And so, this set, from all my years of testing on the PTS, is the strongest defensive set I have ever encountered. It's better than any resistance set. It's better than any healing set. And we've had some really strong ones. But this one takes the cake. And you guys are going to see all of it. And I'm trying to show you it in its full entirety. I knew this set was good. I knew this set was really strong. Anytime you don't have a cooldown on something like this, like, you have a chance for it to be really busted. But I still built in this way, stacking a lot of recovery, because I thought I was going to have to line of sight. I thought I was going to have to avoid incoming things and really survive in a 1v2 and a 1v3 versus good players. I didn't think that it was going to be so strong I could sit here and just rotate heals and survive without blocking or dodging. Defensive mechanics in this game are very strong. I've talked about this in the past. They're so much stronger than offensive mechanics due to cast times and ultimates. Just having that time to be able to block or dodge roll makes things a lot easier to survive. I'm not using an ultimate. I'm not using my spell wall. I am not using my resto ult. I am not using my burst heal. And so I have 2 people full on parsing on me. Liar's on his PvP build, and I think JTK set up a full PvE parse. And PvE hits hard, guys. It hits very hard. and yeah, I'm just sitting here and I'm eating everything. And yeah, I don't have to do anything. And so when you add this set onto players that know what they're doing, players that know how to block, dodge roll, and whatever, like, if it's this hard to kill somebody by them just standing here doing nothing, it's going to be next to impossible to kill anybody that knows what they're doing. And so that's what this set's doing. This set is basically stating the requirement, the benchmark to kill somebody is so much higher now, and that's the problem. It puts needless tankiness in the game. Like, so when you deal damage to me, if your damage does a status effect, or it applies a dot and that does a status effect, or it reapplies, or it gives me something negative, like most things do, I'm going to heal. And it's basically saying, like, for all the damage you do, I get a heal, which is a different form of mitigation. Like a lot of mitigation in this game is formed off of you do less damage. This is just like, we're going to counteract the damage you do with a heal. And so things like charge with force pulse, it's very powerful. Force pulse provides 3 different status effects, or can, and with charged it procs all the time. You can't run that type of set against somebody with Maras, because each time you proc one of the 3 status effects, they're going to heal for 1k, and you don't hit that much harder than 1k. So it's basically just like you're gimping an entire playstyle. You're gimping an entire skill, a spammable. And that's just one thing. Like, there's lots of DKs that run charge builds and stack status effects, and basically you're just nuking all of them. And so it's not just them, it's everybody. From the tests that I did and tests that I've seen, each person you fight is going to give you roughly 800 to 1600 heals per second based on their build. You know, some builds don't stack as much, as many status effects, and some stack more. I think you can assume Each person you face is going to give you 900 to 1,000 heals per second with just Maras, because there's no cooldown. So the more people hitting you, the more heals you're going to get. And because you're getting that much healing in any outnumbered situation, if you're stacking other hots, you're going to be able to survive. And so here we got another one of my buddies that showed up, G.I. Joe, and he's on a DK, and he's also going to parse on me. And so we're going to see what happens in a 1v3. And so we have two players applying dots and everything. We have a full burst nightblade, and I am still not blocking. I'm still not dodging. I'm standing in a standard. I'm applying my other hots, and we're just going to see what happens. And so I'm still just able to sit here and eat all of the damage and not have to use anything else to survive, because this is what Maras does. and yeah, I didn't think it was going to be like this. But there's not much of a difference between the 1v2 and the 1v3. They do get me a little bit lower a few times, so I do have to hit purge a few extra times, but it's providing so much healing. I can just stand here. There's no other 5-piece set in the game on a healer that would allow me to do this. You couldn't do this with Crimson. You couldn't do this with his sap. You couldn't do this with any other heal set. Earthgore, like a combination of Crimson and Earthgore. You could not survive like this just standing here. You would die due to the cooldowns and the healing that they provide. But yeah, Mara's not having a cooldown. Mara's applying on all these different things. Just allow this to happen. And so here's what's going to happen next patch if this goes live. If his sap goes live the way it's currently set up, the first couple weeks you'll get some enjoyment out of it if it doesn't get popularized. If people don't know about this set somehow, like if they don't watch my channel, you will have some fun with this set because you will basically be immortal. Like you know all those comments from people talking about broken 1vx builds where they can 1v30 and stuff that don't exist. They do exist. They do exist now. It's Maras Ploy. And that entire hatred for 1vx is actually going to be a very real thing, because this set will actually allow you to survive in those situations. But that's going to be short-lived. It's already been talked about a lot on the forums. There's 2 or 3 different forum posts about it. I've already done a video about it. Most good players that I've talked to already know about Maras Ploy, and they're like, yep, we're going to run it. Obviously, like, why would you not run this set? It's extremely powerful. I will be running it too. And yeah, people are going to figure out what the set is that allows everybody to just survive standing there and doing nothing. And so, I think you get a week or 2 max of enjoyment if this set goes live. I think you get 1 or 2 weeks of fun, and then the entire rest of the patch, it becomes unenjoyable, because you're dealing with a set that allows nobody to really die. You just aren't going to have the burst to kill people in most situations. And so you start stacking this in a group, and this is the argument I've seen is this is better for solo play. Guys, there's never in the history of this game been a set that exists better, that functions better for solo play than it does for groups. Like, even Crimson was built this way. Crimson had a lot of these same effects where the more people you hit, the more healing you got. And technically, Crimson was better for solo, but it broke PvP, and it was actually really good for group play because it just made you needlessly tanky, tougher to kill, made fights longer, and because fights go longer, larger groups win with the battle of attrition. That's what this set is. That's what's going to happen with this set. You fight somebody, a group running this set, it's going to take you longer to kill them. You're going to run out of resources before they do. They have more ultimates. They have more damage than you do. And even though you're tankier, they're tankier also running this set. They're going to get so much value out of this set's mitigation. Once again, they had to bring the boss over to Zerg me down. I'm not saying this is like whatever. 3 people with good damage had no ability to kill me while I stood in their dots with this set. Not blocking, not dodging or anything. 3 good players had no way of killing me. The boss had to kill me. Like, that's how ridiculous this set is. And so yeah, you're going to see this a lot, and it's going to be on everybody's bar. It is the new broken healing set, 2600 heals per second. You know, it was 1600 with 2v1, 2600 with 3v1, so roughly 800. Like I said, I've seen 800 to 1600 heals per second depending on the build. 800 to 1600, you can round it however, but I would, for a rough estimation, I would say 800 to 1000 per person you fight. So if you're fighting 7 people, you're going to get roughly 7,000 heals per second with 5 people attacking you, with how everything works. And that's not, obviously it's not always going to be that high if you line of sight, block, dodge roll, mitigate incoming damage that way. But that's the potential of this set. If you're fighting in a 1v12, 1v13, you're going to get over 10,000 heals per second. You're going to have ball group level healing by being one person. And yeah, I've never really been a fan of proc heal sets. They exist. They're really easy to break. This one's no different. The lack of a cooldown just means like, hey, when somebody does something to you, even if you do nothing, you survive. And I think this set needs a cooldown. I think this set at least needs a 1 second global cooldown and some more testing on top of it, or at least ZeniMax needs to be diligent in looking at it and make adjustments, but they don't always do that during the patch. And so there's a good chance that this set goes live and we have it for 3 months and nobody dies in PvP. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a potential hand-holding meta with how this set is set up. 1v1s, 1v2s, doesn't matter what fights you engage in, people are going to be extremely tanky and just not die. And so I don't think that's fun. I don't think anybody else besides tanks and healers think that that's fun. PvP is player versus player. Not tank versus tank. So I don't want to play TVT to guys. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.